SubhanAllah. Another day, another chance to really think about how incredible Allah's creation is.
It really is amazing.
Today we're going on a journey to explore something so magnificent, something that quite literally holds us, sustains us, and it reminds us always of the infinite power and wisdom of our Creator. We're going deep into Earth.
This beautiful planet, this testament to Allah's artistry, it isn't just some random speck of dust out there in the vastness of space.
Not at all.
It's a miracle. It's meticulously crafted, a cradle of life, designed with incredible care specifically for us.
The Quran and Hadith, our guiding lights, offer such profound insights into how the Earth was created and its purpose. They help us understand this amazing planet, and what our role is on it.
It's true.
What I find really striking is how unique Earth is.
Yeah.
The third rock from the sun, a tiny blue sphere in this massive expanse of space. And yet, it's the only one we know of that can support such complex life.
As far as we know.
Think about it. Continents, oceans, mountains that pierce the sky, deserts that just stretch as far as the eye can see, rivers winding through landscapes, sparkling, beautiful lakes, and within all of these, life in such abundance.
It's mind-boggling.
It really is. And we can't forget the very special relationship between humans and Earth. We aren't just visitors just passing through. We are entrusted by Allah to be stewards of this beautiful planet.
We are.
It's a huge responsibility and one that we need to understand fully. So why don't we start by peeling back the layers of the Earth, kind of like you'd peel an onion, to reveal the wonders within.
I like that. I like the onion analogy. In all seriousness, understanding the Earth's structure is really key to appreciating just how complex it really is.
Right.
We live on the Earth's crust, this thin outer layer that feels so solid beneath our feet.
Yeah.
But beneath that, things get really interesting.
Okay, so what's going on under there?
Yeah.
I imagine it gets pretty hot as you go deeper, right?
You're absolutely right. Below the crust lies the mantle. It's a massive layer of hot, semi-molten rock that's constantly moving. It's churning due to the internal heat of the Earth. Imagine a pot of thick soup simmering on the stove, and you kind of have an idea of what's happening in the mantle.
I can picture that.
This churning, it creates these massive currents, and those currents are actually what drives the movement of tectonic plates.
Wait, tectonic plates, that's what causes earthquakes, right?
That's exactly right.
Wow.
Think of the Earth's crust like a giant jigsaw puzzle with these enormous pieces called tectonic plates. They are constantly shifting, colliding, and pulling apart.
Really?
When they collide, they buckle and they push up, creating magnificent mountains.
Like the Himalayas.
Exactly. But when they slide past each other or when they pull apart, that's when we experience things like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions.
SubhanAllah. It's so hard to believe that something so seemingly solid beneath our feet is actually in constant motion.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's a true testament to Allah's power and design. And we haven't even reached the deepest part yet, the Earth's core. This is the heart of our planet, and it's made mostly of iron and nickel.
The core. That sounds intense. What's it like down there?
Well, the outer core, that's liquid metal, and its movement generates something extraordinary. It's the Earth's magnetic field. This invisible shield protects us from harmful radiation from the sun. It's like a giant umbrella shielding us from this cosmic downpour.
Wow. I had no idea the Earth's core was so important for life up here on the surface.
It really is. And at the very center of the Earth lies the inner core. It's solid, incredibly dense, and unbelievably hot. Imagine the sun's surface temperature. And the pressure down there is just immense.
SubhanAllah, it's mind-blowing to even try to think about these incredible forces at play deep within our planet.
It is.
It's like this perfectly designed system.
Yeah.
With each layer playing a specific part to create this habitable world we call home.
Exactly. And this system, from the core to the crust, it's what sets the stage for the incredible diversity of landscapes that we see on the Earth's surface.
You mean the mountains and oceans, the deserts, and everything in between. It's hard to imagine how all of that formed from this, hot, churning interior.
Well, that's where the tectonic plates come into play again. They've been shaping the Earth's surface for millions of years, creating the continents we know today. Think of it like this. If you were to crumple up a piece of paper, it creates ridges and valleys.
Okay, yeah.
Similarly, the movement of these tectonic plates that creates mountains, valleys, and even entire ocean basins.
So the continents we see on Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, and even Antarctica, they were all shaped by these massive forces deep within the Earth.
That's exactly right.
SubhanAllah.
And all those continents are surrounded by vast oceans, the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, the Southern, and the Arctic. These oceans play a critical role in regulating our planet's climate.
Wow. It's just incredible how interconnected everything is.
It really is.
From the fiery core to the vast oceans, it's all part of this intricate web of Allah's creation. It makes you appreciate the beauty and complexity of our planet in a whole new way.
Absolutely. And within this intricate web, we find some truly breathtaking landscapes. Towering mountains that seem to touch the sky, the Himalayas, the Andes, the Alps. They stand as majestic reminders of Allah's power.
And then there are the deserts, like the Sahara and the Arabian Desert, which might appear barren at first glance, but they're actually teeming with life that's uniquely adapted to those really harsh conditions. It's a testament to the resilience, the adaptability of Allah's creation.
Absolutely right. Even in the most challenging environments, life finds a way. And speaking of life, those majestic mountains you mentioned, they are often the source of life-giving rivers and lakes. Imagine the Nile, the Amazon, the Yangtze, the Mississippi. These rivers are like arteries, carrying water across continents, sustaining life and shaping the landscapes.
It's amazing how a single raindrop falling on a mountain peak can eventually become part of a mighty river that flows for thousands of miles, providing sustenance for countless beings along the way.
It's a beautiful illustration of Allah's provision and the interconnectedness of his creation.
It really is.
And let's not forget those lakes, those sparkling jewels scattered across the continents. Each one of them is a unique ecosystem, teeming with life.
And then, beneath the surface, hidden from view, there are even more wonders to discover.
Yeah.
Caves and canyons, carved by erosion over millions of years, they reveal the Earth's history and offer glimpses into a hidden world.
They really do. Those underground worlds, they are full of wonder and beauty, reminding us of the hidden depths of Allah's creation, both literally and figuratively.
It's amazing to think that we've really only scratched the surface of exploring all that Earth has to offer. It reminds me that there's always more to learn and to discover about this magnificent planet that Allah has bestowed upon us.
And speaking of discovering, we haven't even touched on the Earth's atmosphere yet. That protective blanket of air that surrounds our planet and makes life, as we know it, possible.
Now, that's something I'm really curious about. I know we breathe air, but what exactly is it made of, and how does it protect us?
Well, that's where our journey gets even more fascinating. Imagine the Earth wrapped in these layers of air, each one with its unique properties, a specific purpose, kind of like, the layers of an onion, only invisible.
So it's like a shield protecting us from the harshness of space.
Precisely. And it's not just one single layer. The atmosphere is composed of several layers. You have the troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the thermosphere, and the exosphere, each one playing a crucial role in sustaining life on Earth.
That sounds incredibly complex. Tell me more about these layers and what makes them so important.
Okay, well, the layer closest to the Earth's surface, that's the troposphere.
Okay.
It's where weather happens, it's where clouds form, rain falls, wind blows, storms rage. It's the air we breathe, and it's essential for life.
So all the dramatic weather events we see, on the news, the storms, the hurricanes, the tornadoes, they all happen in this first layer of the atmosphere.
That's right.
Ah.
And as we go higher, we reach the stratosphere. It's much calmer, it's more stable, and this is where we find the ozone layer.
The ozone layer, I've heard of that. It's important, right? For protecting us from the sun's harmful rays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The ozone layer acts like a shield. It absorbs most of the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. Without it, life on Earth would be exposed to dangerous, really dangerous levels of radiation, making it extremely difficult to survive.
Subhanallah. It's amazing how Allah has designed this invisible layer to protect us from something we can't even see.
It truly is a remarkable example of Allah's care and provision. And as we ascend even further, we encounter the mesosphere. Now, this is where most meteors burn up upon entry, creating those streaks of light we call shooting stars.
Oh, wow. So it's like a protective barrier against space debris as well.
Indeed it is. And then we have the thermosphere. Now, in this layer, the temperatures can reach extremely high levels. This is actually where those beautiful auroras occur, those dazzling displays of light in the sky, near the Earth's poles.
I've always wanted to see the auroras. They look so magical in pictures.
They truly are a breathtaking sight. And finally, we reach the exosphere. That's the outermost layer of the atmosphere. And it's where it gradually fades into the vastness of space.
It's amazing to think about all these layers.
It is.
Each with its own unique characteristics, working together to protect and nurture life on Earth. like a complex symphony orchestrated by Allah,
I love that.
each instrument playing its part to create a harmonious whole.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
And speaking of harmony, let's dive a little deeper into the composition of the air we breathe,
Okay.
that invisible elixir of life that sustains us all.
Yes. I'm curious to know what exactly we're inhaling with every breath.
Well, air is primarily made up of nitrogen. It's about 78%, and oxygen, which is about 21%.
Oh.
Now, while nitrogen is crucial for life, we don't actually use it directly for breathing.
Right.
It's the oxygen that our bodies need to fuel our cells and keep us alive.
So every time we inhale, we're taking in this life-giving oxygen that allows our bodies to work.
Exactly.
Like a constant miracle happening right under our noses.
It really is. And then there's carbon dioxide, which makes up a small percentage of the air.
Yeah.
Plants use carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, the process of making food, and they release oxygen as a byproduct.
Oh, wow.
It's a beautiful cycle of interdependence between plants and animals.
So we breathe in oxygen, which our bodies use, and we exhale carbon dioxide, which plants need to survive. It's like a perfect partnership created by Allah.
Precisely. But unfortunately, human activities, things like burning fossil fuels and deforestation, they're disrupting this delicate balance by increasing the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
Right, and that's what's causing climate change, right?
That's right. Increased levels of carbon dioxide trap heat in the atmosphere, which leads to a gradual warming of the planet. And that, unfortunately, has a cascade of effects on weather patterns, sea levels, and entire ecosystems.
It's a reminder that while Allah has given us this incredible planet, we have a responsibility to take care of it and not disrupt its delicate balance.
Absolutely. Our actions have consequences, and it's essential that we are mindful of our impact on the environment. We are not just inhabitants of this earth, but stewards entrusted by Allah to protect and preserve His creation.
And I think that's a perfect point to pause for now.
Okay.
Join us in the next part of our deep dive as we explore the incredible diversity of life that Allah has woven across this planet, a testament to His infinite creativity and power.
Welcome back. We've journeyed from the Earth's fiery core to its breathtaking landscapes, and now we're about to enter a realm that truly showcases Allah's boundless creativity and power, the Earth's biosphere.
The biosphere, what exactly is that?
It's the sphere of life. Imagine all living things on Earth, from the tiniest microorganisms to the largest whales. From lush rainforests to arid deserts, all interconnected in a web of life that spans the entire planet.
Subhanallah. So we're not just talking about plants and animals, but also the tiny creatures that we can't even see with our naked eyes.
Exactly. Think about the soil beneath our feet. It's teeming with microscopic life bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms that play a vital role in breaking down organic matter, recycling nutrients, and making the soil fertile for plants to grow.
Wow, it's incredible how something so small can have such a huge impact on the entire ecosystem.
And that's just one example of the interconnectedness of life on Earth. From the bees that pollinate our crops to the birds that control pests, every creature has a role to play. And this incredible diversity of life, what scientists call biodiversity, is a testament to Allah's infinite wisdom and artistry.
You know, it's easy to take this diversity for granted. We see birds in the sky, fish in the sea, trees in the forest, but we rarely stop to think about the intricate web of relationships that connects them all.
You're right. It's like a beautifully woven tapestry, with each thread representing a different species and each connection representing a relationship between them.
Okay, so how does this tapestry of life actually work? What keeps it all together?
Well, one of the key principles is the flow of energy through ecosystems. Remember those food chains we talked about earlier, where energy is passed from one organism to another?
Yes, I remember the hawk, the rabbit, and the grass.
Exactly. Those food chains are the building blocks of food webs, which are these complex networks of interconnected food chains. Imagine a spider spinning its web, capturing insects that feed on plants, and then a bird comes along and eats the spider. And maybe a snake preys on the bird. Each organism is connected to others in a delicate balance of predator and prey.
SubhanAllah. It's mind-boggling to think about all those connections.
And this brings us to a crucial point, the importance of maintaining this biodiversity. When one species is lost, it can have a ripple effect throughout the entire ecosystem, disrupting the balance and potentially leading to the decline of other species.
So it's like pulling a thread from a tapestry. It might seem like a small action, but it can weaken the entire fabric.
Precisely. And unfortunately, human activities are causing species to go extinct at an alarming rate.
That's really concerning. What are some of the main threats to biodiversity?
Well, habitat loss is a major factor. As humans expand our footprint on the planet, we clear forests for agriculture, we build cities, and we develop infrastructure, and all of that destroys the homes of countless species.
So we're literally squeezing out the space for other creatures to live.
Sadly, yes. And then there's pollution. We release harmful chemicals into the air, the water, the soil, and this poisons plants and animals.
And climate change is also having a huge impact, right?
Absolutely. As the planet warms, habitats are shifting, weather patterns are becoming more extreme, and some species are really struggling to adapt.
It's heartbreaking to think that we as humans are causing so much damage to this beautiful web of life that Allah has created.
It's a sobering reminder that we need to be more mindful of our actions and take responsibility for the impact we're having on the environment. As Muslims, we believe that Allah has entrusted us as khalifas, or stewards, of His creation. It's our duty to protect and preserve this incredible diversity of life for generations to come.
So how can we do that? What can we do as individuals to make a difference?
Well, there are many things we can do. First and foremost, we need to educate ourselves about the issues and the impact of our choices. We can reduce our consumption, choose sustainable products, support conservation efforts, and advocate for policies that protect the environment.
So it sounds like every little action counts.
Absolutely. Just as a single raindrop can contribute to a mighty river, our individual actions can have a collective impact on the health of our planet.
You know, this conversation has really opened my eyes to the interconnectedness of life on Earth. It makes me realize that we're not just separate individuals, but part of a vast, intricate web of creation that Allah has designed with incredible care.
It's a beautiful realization. And it's not just about the living things. Allah has also provided us with an abundance of resources on this earth, from the minerals beneath our feet to the energy that fuels our lives.
So let's talk about resources. Allah has truly blessed us with a rich and diverse planet. We have mineral resources like iron, copper, gold, coal, and oil, all essential for our modern way of life.
Yes, these resources are amana, a trust from Allah. It's our duty to use them wisely and sustainably. We need to be mindful of the environmental impact of mining and extraction, and we need to find ways to reduce waste and pollution.
It sounds like a delicate balance between utilizing these resources for our needs and ensuring that there's enough for future generations.
Exactly. We need to think long-term and make choices that benefit both present and future generations. And speaking of essential resources, we can't forget about water.
Water is truly the elixir of life. It's crucial for drinking, agriculture, industry, for everything.
And yet, despite being called the blue planet, freshwater, the kind we need, is a limited resource. Only about 3% of Earth's water is freshwater, and much of that is locked up in glaciers or deep underground.
So conserving water is absolutely crucial. We need to be mindful of our water usage and find ways to reduce waste.
Absolutely. Every drop counts. We can install water-saving appliances, fix leaks promptly, and practice water-wise gardening. And on a larger scale, we need to invest in infrastructure that improves water management and protects our water sources from pollution.
Right, and then there are forests, those magnificent green lungs of our planet. They provide us with so much more than just timber.
You're right. Forests play a vital role in regulating our climate. They absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. They help prevent soil erosion. They provide a habitat for countless species and offer a wealth of resources, including food, medicine, and even cultural significance for many communities.
But deforestation is a major problem, isn't it?
Sadly, yes. We're losing forests at an alarming rate due to logging, agriculture, and urbanization. And this loss not only impacts biodiversity, but also contributes to climate change.
It's disheartening to think that we're destroying these vital ecosystems that provide so much for us and for the planet. We need to find ways to protect our forests and promote sustainable forestry practices.
Absolutely. We can support organizations that are working to conserve forests, choose sustainably sourced wood products, and just reduce our consumption of paper and other forest-derived material.
Right. And finally, let's talk about energy resources. Our modern world runs on energy, but the way we produce and consume energy has a huge impact on the environment.
You're right. We're heavily reliant on fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. But burning these fossil fuels releases greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming and climate change.
So we need to find cleaner, more sustainable ways to generate the energy we need.
Exactly. Investing in renewable energy sources like solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal is essential. These are energy sources that replenish naturally, and they don't pollute the environment.
It sounds like a win-win situation. We get the energy we need, and we protect the planet at the same time.
Precisely. And as Muslims, we have a responsibility to make choices that are in harmony with Allah's creation.
You're right. It's a beautiful reminder that our faith calls us to be responsible stewards of this planet, to cherish and protect the gifts that Allah has bestowed upon us. And I think that's a perfect point to pause for now.
Indeed. Join us in the next part of our deep dive as we explore the fascinating intersection between scientific understanding and Islamic teachings about the creation of this magnificent planet.
So we've explored the Earth's layers, its stunning landscapes, the intricate web of life that thrives on it. It's clear that our planet is a masterpiece of divine creation. But what about the scientific theories that try to explain how it all came to be? How do those fit in with our understanding of Allah as the creator?
That's a really great question, and it's one that a lot of people ponder. It's important for us to remember that science seeks to understand the how of creation, the processes, the mechanisms involved, while faith focuses on the who, the ultimate source, the cause of it all, which is, of course, Allah.
So like two sides of the same coin,
Exactly.
each offering a different perspective on the same reality.
Precisely. Think of it like this. Imagine you were marveling at a beautifully crafted watch.
Okay.
You might really appreciate the intricate gears, the springs, the mechanisms that make it work.
Right.
That's the scientific perspective. But you wouldn't forget that there's a skilled watchmaker who designed and created it in the first place.
Right.
That's the perspective of faith.
That makes a lot of sense. So how do scientific theories like the Big Bang, which explains the origin of the universe, align with Islamic teachings about creation?
Well, the Big Bang theory suggests that the universe originated from an extremely hot, dense state about 13.8 billion years ago and has been expanding ever since. And interestingly enough, the Quran actually mentions the expansion of the universe. In Surah Ad-Dariyat, it says, "And the heaven, we have built it with power, and indeed, we are expanding it."
SubhanAllah. It's amazing to see how scientific discoveries can sometimes resonate with verses in the Quran that were revealed centuries ago.
It's true. It's a reminder that both the Book of Nature and the Book of Revelation, they point to the same ultimate reality, the existence of a creator who brought everything into being. And when we look at the complexity, the order of the universe, it just strengthens our belief in Allah's infinite power and wisdom.
It does. But what about the 6 days of creation mentioned in the Quran? How does that align with, the scientific timescale of billions of years for the formation of the universe and the earth?
That's a great question. It's one that's generated a lot of discussion among scholars. Some interpret the 6 days literally, while others see them as symbolic periods. They represent stages of creation, which may not necessarily correspond to 24-hour days as we understand them.
So the focus is more on the act of creation itself and Allah's power to bring everything into existence rather than a specific time frame.
Exactly. The Quran doesn't intend to be a scientific textbook on cosmology or geology.
Right.
Its purpose is to guide us towards a deeper understanding of Allah, our relationship with Him as our creator and sustainer.
And as we reflect on the wonders of Earth, from its intricate layers to its breathtaking diversity of life, it's hard not to feel a sense of awe, of gratitude for the gift of this planet.
It's true. The Quran reminds us that Allah created everything in perfect balance, in harmony, and that everything in creation glorifies Him. In Surah Ar-Rahman, Allah repeatedly asks, "Then which of the favors of your Lord will you deny?" It's a call for us to contemplate, to really think about the blessings that we so often take for granted.
Absolutely, and a reminder that we are not just inhabitants of this earth, but stewards entrusted with caring for it. We have a responsibility to use its resources wisely, protect its environment, preserve its beauty for future generations.
Absolutely. Our actions have consequences, and we will be accountable to Allah for how we treat His creation. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The world is green and beautiful, and Allah has appointed you as His stewards over it. He sees how you acquit yourselves."
It's a powerful statement. It really emphasizes the importance of environmental stewardship as a part of our faith. So as we conclude this deep dive into Allah's creation Earth, let's leave our viewers with a final thought.
Let's all remember that Earth is a precious gift, a testament to Allah's infinite power, wisdom, and mercy. Let us marvel at its wonders, appreciate its beauty, and strive to be responsible caretakers of this amazing planet. And let us always remember to give thanks to Allah for all His blessings.
Ameen. Jazakum Allah khairan for joining us on this journey of discovery. May Allah grant us the understanding, the wisdom, and the strength to fulfill our role as stewards of His creation and to leave this earth a better place than we found it.